Greetings folks, and I hope you're all fit and well wherever you are in collecting land. And welcome back to the channel for another 1/6 scale figure preview. So, minutes ago, literally half an hour ago, depending on how long it's taken me to get this video onto YouTube, Inart have gone and announced and dropped the figures for and a release date for their take on the T-800 Endoskeleton from James Cameron's 1984 classic, the movie that started it all, the Terminator. And I've got to say, I am very excited indeed for this one. But before we dive in and take a look at the multitude of pictures that Inart have dropped on us, I would like to send a Cyberdyne Systems size shout out to everybody who supported the channel. And please drop a like and hype on this video as it helps other people find Go Figure. And if you haven't already, be sure to mash that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you're sure not to miss any of the 1/6 scale reviews, news, previews, tours, showcases and all that other good stuff we've got lined up. And before we dive in as well, I would like to send a bit of an apology out to regulars to the channel. Mr. Go Figure has been a little bit quiet of late, and there is a reason for that. Unfortunately, I have been a little bit under the weather. What it is, nobody knows. We are still trying to work that out. I've got doctors far and wide bemused at my condition, but yeah, unfortunately, I have been a little bit slower on the production front due to ill health. That will start to speed up again. It may take a little bit longer to get back up to the usual torrent of stuff that we normally have on the channel, but yeah, we are back. So without further ado, let's dive in and take a look at what Inart are offering us. And I think myself included, there are a lot of collectors out there who are really looking forward to this one. We've got the Hot Toys. They've announced their version of it a while back there. The pre-orders have gone up, and that's due in November. But I think a lot of us have been waiting with bated breath for this one. So let's take a look at the pictures. I am super excited, as you can probably tell. And first impressions here. Well, before we get to the T-800 itself, let's talk photography here. As you will probably notice as we go through these photos, and there is a shit ton of them, so we'll be zipping through them fairly quickly. I absolutely love the photography that Inart have done here. I think it's some of the best I've seen in a pre-release photo set in a long time. First shot here, obviously meant to replicate that sequence where the T-800 is rambling through the factory after he's been stripped of the flesh on the outside, and he's coming towards the door there with the limp. And I've got to say, it looks wonderful. I've got Hot Toys quarter scale alongside me here for some comparisons. I would normally put some shots up at the top there, but we're going to miss out on those because I'm going to use this guy as a point of reference. But yeah, looking excellent. Proportions look nailed on. The detailing looks amazing. Screen accuracy looks on point. Even that head sculpt, which I thought was a little bit off on this quarter scale guy. This is a very old piece though, an exceptionally old piece, so you've got to give it some leeway. But even the head sculpt there, the skull section, looks to be absolutely nailed on. But yeah, fantastic looking photo. But let's zip on to the next one. As I say, an absolute plethora of photos here to get through. We've got a relatively museum pose here. We're seeing that base for the first time, and we're seeing the overall proportions. Now, once again, I think the proportions are very good indeed. They look excellent there. It's not the easiest photo, this one, to get any real idea from, because it is so, well, it's such a mundane pose, but it is what it is. I'm going to assume as well at this point that they're going to be using a shit ton of die cast in this. Knowing Inart, they will go down the die cast route, so I'm expecting as much die cast in this one as in the new Hot Toys release, and maybe even the quarter scale as well, if not more. But it looks absolutely excellent. Super high gloss, super shiny. The detailing looks right. We're getting to see that base for the first time. Be interesting to see how Inart have done this. Relatively straightforward base, quite simplistic. It obviously meant to look like the factory floor from the Cyberdyne Systems factory there. Maybe, not 100% certain, but it looks effective. It's grilled, it's got that metallic silver paint application. You've got the Terminator logo on the front there in that sort of plaque. Whether that's metal or not is yet to be seen. The blurb on this one is quite, I wouldn't say vague, but I mean, it just gives you a quote from the movie, a calories quote from the movie, and a release date of, I believe, I'll need to double check this, 12th of June. No, that's the pre-order date. We've got no release date, or at least not in the blurb I've got. So we've got a pre-order date of the 12th of June on this one. But yeah, looking absolutely on point. View from the back there, the detailing, screen accuracy, as I mentioned before, looks bang on. Let's zip on to the next. We've got a side shot here, and we're starting to see the detailing for the first time. Now, I'm going to say from the get-go here, as much as a fan of both the original Terminator movie and Judgment Day, I am no, how can we say this? I'm no university lecturer grade expert on the endoskeleton itself, but to me, that looks nailed on. That super shiny metallic finish there looks nailed on, and we've already talked about the proportions, and we know that Inart maybe had a few glitches with the Terminator figure that they announced. Was it earlier this year or towards the end of last year? I think it was towards the end of last year. That's the battle damaged version from the Terminator, and there was some consternation about the accuracy of that figure and the overall look. And I believe what Inart did was go back to the drawing board and give us two figures there. But this one looks like, from out of the gate, looks absolutely stunning as far as I can see. Yeah, and we're seeing that base again with that grill effect on there. On to the next. Darkly lit shot, this one, so we get an idea of the reflectiveness of that paint job, or whether it is actually just a super shiny alloy throughout. It'll be interesting to see the materials that they've used here, but yeah, looking suitably menacing and on point. Let's talk about the eyes. Now, they look lit up to me. I mean, the lighting's quite bright here. Where would a T-800 Endoskeleton be without the red light up eyes? That gives it its character, it gives it that menace. And there's no indication, once again in the blurb, is this USB-C powered? Be interesting to see if it was, how they'd work that. I've got a sinking feeling here that we might be looking at button cell batteries. I'm praying to the Terminator gods that we're not. But as with this guy to my right here, it was accessible via the back of the head there. And there was a button cell battery compartment in there, one of those fiddly little nasty switches. And the batteries lasted about 10 minutes, looked very, very bright, and then died on you. I can't really see a way around using button cells for these eyes, but yeah, maybe it's a compromise. Maybe we'll just have to live with it. But let's talk the detailing here now. Looking at this body, they have got the detailing absolutely on point here. Those shoulder joints there that you can see here on this guy, accurate. Yeah, the size of the pistons in the biceps, the pipe work, the pistons in the neck area. It looks like they've not fallen into that trap that Hot Toys did with this guy, which I don't know whether you can see this on camera, but there are these sort of metal spring stroke tubes, and you can see them here. On Inart's version. On the Hot Toys version there, they got them all wrong and they put them underneath. They are meant to be over the top, and Inart have nailed it on here. They run from the shoulders there into the chest section, which looks great. You've got that sort of angled chest section there, all the pistons, everything looking damn near perfect as far as I can tell. And talking of articulation, which we weren't, this looks like it's very well articulated as well. We've got him on one knee here. It could very well be on both knees actually, or he's got that right knee is on the ground and this left leg is raised. But it looks to me like articulation isn't going to be an issue either. When you're working with something like this, if you do have plastic parts in it, can be super delicate and can break easily. I'm going to assume, as I said before, 95% metal here, but correct me in the comment section if you know better, and I'd be happy to find out myself as well. On to the next. Now, mentioned that head before. Now, I always thought this guy's head was a little bit too high up and a little bit too small. To me, this is more accurate. But as I say, I am no super expert on this guy, and if I am getting that wrong, as I say, let me know in the comment section below. But I think this head looks slightly more proportionally accurate to me. You've got the pipes and the pistons around the neck area. I'm going to lean in here because what I'm seeing here as well, which this guy has, is the weathering. Now, really important to get that weathering right. There was weathering in the original movie itself. Getting that right is I think really does help the piece an awful lot, and it looks like Inart have nailed that as well. We've got weathering around those shoulder areas there, weathering on that chest plate, weathering in the gaps there, meant to look like sort of dirt that's gathered and rust beginning there at the top of the chest plate as well. And on some of the pistons as well, looks like at the joints of the pistons we're seeing some beginnings of rust there, maybe dirt as well. I think they've nailed the weathering too. Head sculpt looks on point. I can't argue with that head sculpt, but let me know your opinions down below. I'd be fascinated to hear. Now that shot to me really sums up what this is about and what Inart are about. I think, and I'm going to chance my arm here, I'm only going on these promo photos, I think we're probably going to be looking at the definitive 1/6 scale Terminator endoskeleton. I cannot see anything there that I can fault, from the use of materials to the screen accuracy to the detailing. I think even the fine detailing in that chest area behind what would be the pecs is better than this version I've got here. But as I say, this guy can be let off. He's about as old as I am, and that's going some. Let's move on to the next. Close up on that headshot there, the head sculpt rather. Seeing those teeth for the first time. I always thought this guy was a little bit too toothy. I think they've got it just right here. You've got that paint application to give it that ivory look, browning at the gums where it meets the gum area there, just about right. And you didn't see that much of the teeth in the original film, and I know that this is one that's been debated forever and a day, this one. I think they've got that just right. I think it was a little bit too much on this guy, yeah, and that chest area again, not everything looks brand new and burnished and like it's just come out of the Cybernet factory, which is the way it should look. Side shot here, we're seeing that detailing in the cranium area, the all-important detailing there of obviously what's meant to be the inner workings of his head, maybe his brain underneath there, really nicely done. And we're seeing all the pipe work once again at the sides there. That jawline, that all-important jawline, they seem to have captured very well. Hopefully that jaw will be articulated. I can't see it not being, so you can go for that mouth open look if you want to. On to the next. Another one. Pretty much from the waist up, just below the waist there, and once again I really can't fault it. Be interesting to see how these hands and feet articulate, but overall the first impressions for me anyway are, well, I'm blown away, absolutely blown away. Inart have a reputation, and it doesn't look like that's going to be in any danger here. On to the next. Now, from the back, we spoke about that weathering. You can see that here in the center of the spinal area there, that spinal column that runs from just below the chest into the waist area, and yeah, that's been weathered as well. Those pistons look great. Overall, yeah, it's next level stuff here from Inart. I think future Grail, most certainly, yes. I can see this one changing hands for silly money on the aftermarket a few months after its release. But yeah, once again, that weathering on the back, all the paneling, all the detailing in that metal looks great. The size of those vertebrae as they get larger going down, can't fault it. Can't vouch for exactly how many points of articulation we're looking at here, because, as I say, the blurb I've got, at least anyway, doesn't contain that much information. As I say, simply a quote from Kyle Reeson and a pre-order date, and that's about your lot. I think that's a cracking photo as well. I'm banging the same drum here, but Inart have done some spectacular photography on this one. It's going to be a vlogger's dream, this, when it's released. We've got him with that fist grip there, so we're going to be looking at plenty of articulation in those hands, no doubt, and we've seen those super chunky metallic knuckle areas. Those hands, they always stick in my head from the first time I ever saw the movie. How old was I? God, I must have been about 17, 18 when it was first released, and those hands were so well done by Stan Winston and his team, and they've captured that beautifully there. Loving that headshot there, mouth slightly open, so yeah, I think we can pretty much, it's pretty much a given we're going to get an articulated jaw there. But yeah, and we've even got some weathering on that, on this sort of the forehead area of that exposed skull. But still, yeah, eyes, they look nice and bright. Are they LED powered? I'm hoping so. This could just be some super bright red paint that they've used here. Maybe we're going to have to wait to get a full official blurb from Inart on the ins and outs of this figure. But yeah, I'm hoping they are light up. Yeah, another one there, just with a slight blue filter on it, and to pick out the details, looking absolutely spot on for me. Yeah, the sort of the headshot again. We've got multiple headshots going on here. Seeing that that weathering there on the metal, that dirt, that rust up close, that works. I'm going to lean in here. We've even got scratches on the chin area here, scratches across the where the eyebrows would be, where the furrows of Schwarzenegger's brow would be there, and we've even got that the section there where the chip goes in, the head, the processing chip, looking remarkably good. As you can tell, I'm impressed. Another headshot there. Let's move on. Now, as I mentioned at the top there on a couple of occasions, in total admiration for Inart on the photography on this, and it really shows here. They've gone for some very playful scene replicating shots from the movie here. Now this to me, yeah, plodding around the factory there, the factory floor, hunting down Kyle and Sarah, and they've given it some red light, and that just looks so menacing. Really well done. The abs there are really highlighted, as is that whole chest area. The depth and detail in there is a thumbs up from me. We've got one of him grasping the corner, coming around the corner. Hours of fun I am going to have with this when I get my hands on it, because let's call it now. This is pretty much a given for Mr. Go Figure. This is most certainly going to be creeping its way into the collection. That looks phenomenal. A close-up of that head in that same lighting with that same sort of factory bar effects, looking superb. Now I think we have, you know, looking at the way these eyes are lit here, they've got to be lit up, haven't they? Come on, let's face it. Yeah, the method of lighting them up is the big question, but yeah, they look super bright, super menacing, absolutely fantastic. And another one there as well. We've got one here with a black background just to pick out the details. Yeah, we've got one here. This is almost that. When I first looked at that shot, I'm thinking Sarah at the other side of the huge metallic press, and the torso section trying to reach forward for her, or maybe where it's at the bottom of the stairs, advancing with a limp towards Kyle Reese. I think, yeah, either of those two. If you were recreating either of those two scenes, it would do perfectly for that. Reaching forward there, that's a press shot for me, looking very good. And now they really have gone all in art with this. We've got these flame effects going on in the background. This is obviously meant to replicate where the tanker blows, he loses his skin, and we all retreat to the factory for the final showdown. Looking beautiful there. Beautiful photography, beautiful looking figure. And one of him hauling himself out of the wreckage of the tanker. This is the gift that just keeps giving as far as photographs go. A shot of the foot there, which we all remember from the movie, where he's walking with a limp out of the flames and dragging that foot behind him. We can see the detailing in those feet. It looks absolutely excellent, even down to the snapped ankle there, almost like the metallic Achilles tendon that's been taken out, which is causing the limp. And you've obviously got that ball joint on the end of the foot as well, so all working very well. Some more shots that are reminiscent of the hallway as he's pursuing Sarah and Kyle. Loving the lighting on this, loving the effects they've used. Not sure how they've done this, whether they've done this in AI or however they've done it. I think it looks absolutely amazing and could literally be a still from the movie. Wonderful. Got another one there with a light behind him in the same corridor. Amazing, just amazing. Detailing on the arms here, those digits we've talked about, and it doesn't look like they've missed a trick in this in the arm area, even down to the weathering on the elbow joint as well. Another one of the arm there. I was going to say it's flexing, but it's not really. It's just straight out and at right angles, looking excellent. Those panels beautifully done. One of him reaching through here. Now that's I think they're taking a bit of artistic license there with that one. But yeah, another one meant to represent the factory scene. We've got the arm reaching through the door there. Give us an idea of some of those details, and those, I always thought they looked like coins, those knuckles on the hand there. Very nice indeed. One of the arm on the floor there on the ground. This could very well be the top of the base. If it is the top of the base, a shout out there. Looks like we're getting I don't know whether it's a waist grabber or a crotch grabber with this one. Maybe they're erring away from the old magnet system. The irony of that when they're producing a metallic figure is not lost on me. But yeah, all looking absolutely excellent. Shots of the back here, and really that weathering is the thing that stands out here. The attention to detail, the materials used in the weathering are the three things that hit me. Another angle of the back there, you can see some more detailing, a close-up on those shoulder blades there, so you can get an idea of how well those pistons have been milled. Be interesting to see, as I say, just how much metal there is in here. Shoulders again, this time with the arms out, we're seeing all the detailing. Straight on that shoulder section. The vertebra in the back there, looking really nice, weathered and slightly out of kilter as well, not perfectly lined up. The back of the legs, so we can see the scale and proportion of the legs, and those knee joints, spot on again. And finally, a close-up on that knee joint. I think that is the last of the photos. So yeah, there you have it, folks. That is Inart's take on the T-800 Endoskeleton from the Terminator. For me, personally, no-brainer, I've got to say. Regulars to the channel will know, huge Terminator fan. So yeah, no-brainer for me, this one. Pressing play straight away. I also have the Hot Toys Endoskeleton on pre-order as well. And I am not inclined to cancel that because I would love to get these two side by side. That would make a great video and I'm looking forward to doing it. But this most certainly will be heading Mr. Go Figures way anyway. But what about you? Will you be picking this up? Are you a Terminator fan? Are you a Cameron fan? Are you an Inart fan? Is it a no-brainer for you as well? Will you be picking it up straight away? Let me know in the comment section below. As I say, I'll be fascinated to hear your take on it. So that about wraps it up, folks, for this preview. I hope it's been useful for you. I hope you've enjoyed it. What have we got coming up on the channel? Well, there's plenty more previews. We've also got plenty more reviews, tours, showcases, as I mentioned. We've got a tour video going up very, very soon. That had to get put on hold due to illness, but it will be with you very, very shortly. Over here, up there, all that stuff over there that you can't see will all be included. So stay tuned for that. And I suppose all that remains for me to say is a massive thank you for watching, as always. From myself, from Inart's take on the T-800. Take care of yourselves, and until next time on the channel, happy collecting.